What is going on? What is going on? It is it's a random day. Let me hit this record. Hold on. There we go. What is going on? What is going on? It is a random day. Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Who would have thought that I would have a show or anything live in the evening? Well, evening for some people. It's 6 o'clock for me. So thank you guys for hanging out today. We're going to do just a live view, if I can bring up my comment section here, and we can just answer any questions you may have, talk a little bit about the new deck and you know, what I think about it, and then go from there. I'm still going to do, there we go. I'm still going to do an actual review of the board, but because I've had the board very limited time. As a matter of fact, I had the board, well, I tested the board before it came out months ago. So I was able to use that. And of course, use these guys right here, which are the new headphones from Pioneer DJ / Alpha Theta. So I had an opportunity to really kind of test it out then. So I knew about the board. I knew kind of my feeling about the board. And, you know, it's all-in-ones are very, very particular, you know, like I know a lot of people that love all-in-ones. I am not the biggest all-in-one fan because they're just so big and they're weighty. It's the same thing I feel about, you know, this one and the Opus Quad, although this one is definitely much easier to transport and maneuver than the Opus Quad. Like I wouldn't even consider taking the Opus Quad out. I'd consider taking out the AZ. But in general, they're just large boards. Here, I'll show you, you know, from a top-down look, how it looks. It's a good-looking board. Obviously, if you guys are familiar with the XZ, this is the board, this AZ that the XZ is replacing. So right off the bat, there's multiple features in here that have brought this to kind of the new millennium. You know, I mean, the XZ, as good of a board as it was limited in what it could do. And and for anybody that didn't know, the SZ was probably the worst board to just I'll get back to this. The XZ was probably the worst board if you were just getting to a venue and you're like, I haven't used the XZ. They're like, just pull the drivers down. And you pull the XZ drivers down and nothing would work. It was this weird, strange glitch. I don't know why, but the only way to get the XZ to work properly was to download the drivers specifically from Rekordbox, from Pioneer DJ. That was the only way to do it. If you try to do it through like Serato, it would not work for you. It just, for whatever reason. So once you pulled them in from Pioneer, then it worked fine. But even then, when it worked fine, I never really loved the board. In all honesty, never loved the board. It just, like I said, it's not really a board for me. Now, this one, this one is a little different. I think, first off, I've just gotten a little more used to larger controllers. So that's the first thing I will say. But all the things that I did not like necessarily on the XZ, they have fixed it. And that's kind of what this board is. This board is more of it's really an update to the XZ. It's bringing it up to today's controllers, today's hardware requirements. My mic should not sound muffled. If it sounds muffled, it's probably coming from you because I don't have a problem with my mics. So let me know in the chat if the mic is muffled for some reason. I literally just recorded with this microphone yesterday. So I think the mic should be fine, but if it isn't, let me know in the chat. How much did you pay for the XZ? Okay. So just so we're clear, I did not pay for the XZ. This is a board that was sent to me from Alpha Theta to review. So, I did not pay for it. Obviously, we know how much the cost of this is. It's about $3,200. So it's on the pricey side, obviously on the pricey side. But the difference is who is trying to purchase this item. So if you noticed here, we have our standard 900 A9 style setup in the middle. We have our CDJ setup on the side. So again, it's one of those things where if you were to take all of these components and try to break them out and buy them individually, it would be much, much more expensive than the all-in-one here. Now, there are some compromises that were made on these boards, as there always are when you're dealing with all-in-ones, but you're not going to get exactly the same feeling and vibe as you're going to get from like a dedicated A9 or, you know, a 900 and some CDJ 3000s. That's not going to be the case, but it gives you, I want to say, probably 90% of what it is you're looking for. And especially if you're a mobile guy and, you know, you have this thing sitting in a something that you can transport it with. It's all one piece. You pick up the piece, you set it down, and you move on from there. But the most important part is, as I said, is the upgrades to the system. Now, there have been several upgrades, a lot of them coming from your cloud services. So we know that Pioneer DJ and their all-in-ones have struggled a little bit with getting up to speed with streaming. I'll just say it like that, try to be as nice as possible. But they have struggled with getting all their products to streaming. As a matter of fact, you know, even the Opus Quad, you know, a lot of times we knew streaming is coming, it just isn't there yet. Well, this one does allow for Beatport. That is the only streaming service at the current time that you can use in streaming. But that's the first sign. The second sign would be seeing more of them come on board. You know, the titles, Apple Music would be fantastic, but I'll be happy with Tidal, Beat Source, not just, you know, not just Beatport, because Beatport is obviously the EDM version of Beat Source, which is more of your open format / hip hop style. I'm an open format guy, so I would prefer to have Beat Source be available to this device. It's not as it is. It's Beatport. It is what it is. They know who their market is. They know who they're marketing to. So it is what it is. But that's in there. Also, one of the updates is on the sound alone. I mean, there's a whole new processing chip found in the system. So you're going to have a better sound coming out of the board. That is fantastic. That's one of the things. Obviously, sound is probably one of the most important parts to doing DJing. You want it to sound good, and not to say that the XZ didn't sound good. It sounded fine, but with the enhanced chip in here, it is definitely a better sound. Romeo Great says, would you install it at a nightclub? Yes. Yes, I definitely would. And the reason why I would install it in a nightclub is because you do have a lot of options with this board. Along with your standard, you know, USB ports found over here. Check out DDJ Groove 6. Check out my video, Stevie B, because I've already done that video yesterday. So you're late to the party. But neither here nor there. So they do have these USB inputs right here, 1 and 2. I think the Opus Quad has 3. This one has 2. It's fine for most people. You do have your what is it called? The Pioneer DJ, the link, which allows you to link like your CDJs and things like that to it. So this board is going to allow you to not only DJ with just the 2, but if somebody's like a big CDJ person, well, you can attach the CDJs to this and DJ like it was nothing, like you're dealing with your normal setup here. You can also, because there are RCA inputs, you can set them up via the, hold on, let me just get my thing in here. I'll find it soon enough. There we go. There we go. Just so I can see myself. I'm vain that way. So yes, you can absolutely set up CDJs. You can set up turntables. You can run audio right into the RCA inputs, and you can do 4-channel mixing in the box, and I believe it's 2 channels in the system, and then 2 CDJs or external devices outside of it. So a lot of options. The buttons feel really, really good. Very happy with them. And let's see if you can hear this. I think you can hear this because there's sound coming out. I had to wire it a little differently, so my booth level is actually my volume, and the master is coming out of my speakers. I only had 1/4 inch, so it is what it is. As far as the outputs are concerned, speaking of, you do have. Sorry. As far as the outputs are concerned, you do have both XLR outs, RCA outs, and then on your output on your booth, you have 1/4 inch, and then you have your standard microphones. Now, your microphones are good because you do have 2 dedicated microphones right up top here. They're right on the panel, which I do love. I don't like when they sit up front like they do with all of the battle mixers, but they have them right up top here. You have a 3-band EQ. Most of them, obviously, we now have 2-band. So you do have the 3-band EQ. You have dedicated EQs on both microphones, which is fantastic. And then you have your on and off for your talk, and then your talk over button right here. So great sounding. I do believe there's attenuators. I think the attenuators are digital this time. Let's check this. Let's check the menu here. And let's go into mixer. There's your mic outputs, feedback, USB. You can break all of this down. All of your settings are right at your fingertips, which are fantastic. You do have Sonic Link. Now, I know people are like, Sonic Link, what is Sonic Link? Now, a couple of days ago, we know that the headphones, the new ones that just came out, have this Sonic Link option here. Now, this is the first controller that has Sonic Link built in. So you actually don't need this. You would need this if you were putting this on, another device. But built in, and it was really simple. All I had to do was hold down the link button here and hold down the link button on this one. They connected, and when I tell you, as far as delay is concerned, it's nominal. I think it's a 7-millisecond delay. I think that's the maximum, which is fantastic. Right over here, I have the X Vives, which I also use as headphone monitors for my in-ears. So I've been using these every single weekend, and they've been great. But the sound coming out of these headphones is fantastic, and there is like zero delay. So if you are an over-the-head kind of person, then these are definitely ones I would say take a listen to, because they sound amazing. And again, no wires. So I can pop these guys on, and I mean, it's just super accurate, but they sound really good. Really, really good. You have your normal pad modes. Now we should talk about trying to figure out, because I'm on the queue. Now, we're going to talk about the pad modes real quick, just so you can know what they have. But the pad modes have hot Q. Oh, by the way, these have noise cancellation in them. Now, we know that the Pioneer DJ headphones / Alpha Theta have always been really good at working over your ears and kind of cupping and hiding that sound. But these do have noise cancellation. I believe it's on this switch. No, now I'm on Bluetooth mode. By the way, it tells you in your ears which mode you're in. So for instance, when I switched it, it did say Sonic Link mode, Bluetooth mode. It is what it is. But they do have noise cancellation in them also, and they are obviously rechargeable. And if it dies on you, you can literally plug them in just using the standard, not the standard, but these typical mini inputs that Alpha Theta / Pioneer DJ uses. Okay, now on the pad modes here, let's get back to the pad modes real quick. On the pad modes, you do have your hot cue, your beat loop, your slip loop, and your beat jump. And if you were trying to check, obviously your hot, then your beat loop is just a loop. And you have many options. Now, this is a hard loop. So when I release it, it stays exactly where it is. If I go to slip loop, as the name says, it gives you a temporary loop. Like so. Then we have our typical beat jump, which we can jump to the next song. And along with the beat jump here, we do have the beat jump up here also. And you can set the value of beat jump so it is exactly like I prefer my beat jumps to be at half beats. That way I can do quick instant doubles. So in other words, I can go like this, double onto this side, and I can just hit my beat jump at half beat. And now so, cool little trick. If you didn't know it, check out the trick. It works. It works very, very, very well. Okay, moving over to the pad modes underneath, you have gate cue, beat loop 2, key shift, and then beat jump 2. Now, not quite sure why there's so many beat jumps, but it is what it is. Apparently, if you're an EDM guy, that's what you look for. But you do have your gate cue, which is basically a, I'm going to shift to this, you can see. Your gate cue takes your same cues, but now it's just as you hold it. Well, that's weird. Sorry, I always forget that. Holding down when you're paused. And then you can hit the play button and it plays, or you can go back up here and it auto plays too. Okay. Moving up, by the way, pitch is good, smooth, solid. There is no center click. I need to point that out. I know you can't see it because my face is on it, but there is no center click right here. I don't understand why sometimes there's a center click and why other times there is not. I don't have an answer for you, but that is just what it is. Followed by your master tempo, and then your tempo adjust for your pitch, +8, +16, etc. Moving up here, you do have your jog feel, and as you can see, it's at super heavy right now. And this thing, as far as the jogs are concerned, do get really, really heavy. At the maximum, you can see, look. Now let me put it on light. Still going. So if you are a turntable DJ and you don't like the feel because it feels, too loose as you're scratching, you can definitely increase the weight so it feels more like turntables. This also applies to your adjustments on the side here, because everything gets heavy. Lighter, heavier, lighter, heavier. Okay, now moving up, you have your loops, your ins and outs, followed by your beat loop as we just talked about, and then your deck select. It's a 4-deck system here, so you can jump around from 2 to 4 and go from there, and then you have your cue loops and then your memory loops, etc. Up top, we have the master volume. I said, mine is my booth right now, so it's kind of backwards. But also on your master, and I want to point this out because this is, you don't see this too often. You do see it more on all-in-ones, but you have a dedicated master sound up here. So you can definitely adjust and get the feel you want. That way you spend less time trying to really mess with these. You can keep these kind of at 12 o'clock and then you can move on from there. Okay. What else am I missing? Let me see if there's any questions. No stems. It takes too long, much processing to do stems. Yeah, stems aren't on the on the all-in-ones just yet. I know there's talk about it. I know they're working on it, but I feel like it's the same thing as when we're dealing with like Denon. You know, the Prime 4 came out with stems. They weren't that good, so they went back to the drawing board. And if you were to look, if you're a producer and you're using things like Akai, right, like the MPCs. Well, the MPCs now have stems. The first release of their stems wasn't the best, and it did take up a lot of processing power. It was found that if you use your computer, like the MPC software in your computer versus the MPC hardware, your results were better using the computer. Why? Better processors. They're just able to do more. So they have now, since in their last update, they have made it a little better. But if you watch the processing, and this is the key here, the processing takes forever. So real-time stem DJing for all-in-ones, unless they decide that they're going to put better processors in their boards, is going to be hard to do in real time. I feel like most of these all-in-ones are going to pre-process. That's just my feeling on it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. Let's head over to the middle. And in the middle here, we have our standard 4 pots here for your sound color. And in your sound color, you do have many, many options. Your filter, your noise, your sweep, which I like to sweep, your crush, dub echo, and your space. Followed by your I'm saying all this stuff and you can't even see me. Sorry. Followed by your parameters, which allows you to affect the sound. Like so. Okay. Now, I meant to tell you, as you notice when I hit the pause button here, the sound just stopped. Over here, you have, over here, obviously, you have vinyl speed adjust. So if you hit that button and then you stop it, you get that more turntable style effect. Your choice on what you want to do. Okay. Moving back over here, we'll talk about the fader real quick. Fader's good. Fader's good. It's not the best fader on the planet. It's the standard faders, I believe, that come with, like, you know, the S9 up faders, or S11 up faders, I should say, followed by like the A9 up faders. And it's solid. It's solid. It's not Magvel though. Be clear about that. And this is what I was talking about with, you know, some of the compromises that you have to deal with when you're trying to do all-in-ones in order to keep the price as down as possible. I know I'm saying a $3,200 board and trying to keep it as down as possible, but the facts are business is business, and this is what Alpha Theta decided. So we do have that one, and then the faders. Faders are actually very smooth. The standard up faders you'll find in any of their, you know, top level things, but not Magvel. You need to be clear about that. You have your headphone jack with your mix master. There is split Q in the software, which you can change, and they have a very cool feature that if you press on the mixer, you have a dedicated mixer setting button. And this allows you to quickly get to all of the things that you tend to use. For instance, not, you know, for instance, but it depends. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. You have your feedback reducer, off, light, heavy. You have your beat effects, mic 1, mic 2, mic 1 and 2. Your recording device, you can decide which one's going to be recording, and then your recording settings. Over here, you decide right now from decks 3 and 4, which are these guys right here, what they're going to be doing. Now, there is a line, a phono, and Bluetooth. That's right, there is Bluetooth in this board. The Bluetooth is very specific. This isn't like on your Omnis Duo. Okay, that's not what this Bluetooth is. This is legitimately just sending Bluetooth sound to that channel. But you do have that option, and that's great. It avoids having to plug in an RCA or a headphone jack or something like that with your iPad, iPhone, Android device to get sound in while you're doing your changeover, if you were still doing that in 2024. But you do have Bluetooth as a backup. I need to put on some cocktail music for something. Let me just throw that on there. Okay. And that is all right over here. Then you have your EQ, if you want it to be EQ or ISO, and options are all right there, followed by your stereo or mono split. And then on here, your preview volumes where you want them to be level wise, and then your crossfader assignment here, and then your crossfader curve and your channel fader curve. Now, I do like that they're right there. Those are the things that I'm using a lot of. You know, as a matter of fact, I did bring this up in my Groove 6 video, because Groove 6 has split Q, but there's no way to change it once you're DJing. So either you're in split Q or you're in stereo. I like the ability to be able to switch it. I don't need it to be a hardware switch, but I do need to have some way to get to it quickly. Okay, let's go back here and we'll zoom out real quick. Let's go into the menu real quick, and then we'll get back to the beat effects. Okay, now on your menu, it's all the settings for the board. You got your quantize value, your hot cues, your auto load, jog ring brightness, job ring indicator. And right now mine is set to off, but you can turn it on, obviously. And then the brightness, and 2 is the brightest. Your play mode, single or continuous. This is like if you have a playlist for cocktail or something that you want to just keep playing, where you can go in there and just switch it to continuous right there. Okay, let's go to the mixer. And again, just like in the mixer settings, you do have your secondary options here, but you don't really need to get into this one because it's already there. But all the settings are right here. So it's literally the mixer setting page on this window right here. So you don't ever pretty much need to go here. Okay. Your audio output, this is your master attenuator. Right now it's at 0, but master peak limiter, master mono, booth monitor, and then your booth monitor mono stereo. And then your display, followed by the network, and then your Bluetooth settings, which right now I don't have anything connected to Bluetooth. And then general, pad brightness, screensaver, power management, all the normal things that we've come to, love. One of the things I do love is the fact, just like on the Opus Quad, the on-air red button here. If I turn off the volume, on-air goes off. If I turn back on air comes back on, just to let you know what decks you're using. So that is great. All right, I'm going to go over to the questions and see what I have question-wise. It definitely can be used as a regular laptop MIDI controller. Not sure what that means, but probably something I said. All right, let's see here. Are you going to review on the headphones? I will, once I've, used them more than like 10 minutes. All right. You need a real computer to process stems. I mean, you don't need a real computer. You just need one that's better than what they've normally been putting in these boards. I mean, the requirements for the boards never required high performance chips. before. So now we're at that point where the hardware needs to start acting like a computer. And I think they're trying to figure out, when I say they, I'm talking about the industry as a whole. They're trying to figure out what makes the most sense financially. Do we put these more expensive chips in? And if we put these more expensive chips in, we have to charge more for the device. So now maybe this $3,200 board becomes, $4,000. So the question is, how many people are willing to pay those prices? That's the key here. It's always the key. It's always a money game, always. Okay, let's see here. Come on, comments. All right. Ashley says, what's the pad response like? I've always had problems with all-in-ones. These pads are fantastic. Now, remember, the quantize feature you have to change in order, which is right here. Let me turn off that quantize, which is set to 1/8. Now, I lied. Let me go to the quantize. See if it'll let me. It's going to make me go into the menu, isn't it? Of course, now I have to find where quantize is. Of course, you have to ask that question and enter quantize beat value. Okay. Well, it's set to off. I mean, 1/8 is pretty much nothing. Still not as fast as I'd like it to be. Interesting. Yeah. So I've definitely, and maybe, my guy from Alpha Theta will be able to tell me if it can get any faster than that. But I definitely would like to see it faster. Now, I know most people aren't going to be doing that, but on occasion you might. So it'd be good to have. Okay. All right, let's see some more questions here. New MacBooks doesn't read my crates on Serato from an external drive. Sorry, OZ, don't know 07. It should. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but you should be able to play off your external easily. Okay, this is a good question. After playing on this and the Opus Quad, which would you recommend? This is a very, very good question. In all honesty, this is probably the most important question for me. Okay, so we're talking about two different things here, and it's more function over style. Okay, so I would say that the AZ is more functional, but the Opus is just beautiful to look at and to work on. This is more utility, while Opus is more style. They do the majority of the same things, except for the fact that having multiple CDJs on there, that's kind of reserved for the AZ, if that's your thing. Now, if you never touch another controller, another piece of hardware, CDJs or whatnot, if you're only rocking the all-in-one here, that becomes a much stronger question. Now, there's some things that aren't on here. For instance, we have beat port, I should say. On this device, we don't have it on the Opus Quad, even though the Opus Quad came out first. So if I was the Opus Quad, I'd be pissed, because how dare you replace me and give them features that you promised me a long time ago. Neither here nor there. But the Opus Quad is still missing streaming. The Opus Quad is, what else is it missing? It's got the microphones. I do like how both microphones for the XZ are located right on the deck here. On the Opus, you do have this one XLR input found right in the front. They both have 3-band EQ, but it's a little more awkward having it here versus, you know, having it in the back. So that's another thing. Screen wise, I think they're really, really close screen wise. Sound wise, they're very, very close sound wise. The one thing I will say that the Opus does not have, that this has, and I think the more I see more equipment come out from Alpha Theta, the more slightly annoyed that I get, because the Opus doesn't have pad modes. Okay. And if you are a working open format DJ or even an EDM DJ, pad modes are invaluable. So the fact that there are pad modes here, I absolutely love. Okay. Because there's certain things that, like, even when the Opus came out, I'm like, well, how do I do this? Or how do I do this? They're like, just map it, map it, map it. I'm going, that's fine. I'm mapping it, but I'm replacing something because there aren't a lot of buttons on the Opus. You see how many buttons are on this thing? Like I said, this is very utility driven. So I would say if you are a working DJ, okay, and you are on the go with your all-in-one, I would take AZ over an Opus Quad if you are transporting that thing all the time. The Opus Quad is not for transport. The Opus Quad is to sit somewhere and just look pretty. Okay, sit in a lounge, you know, with some sort of high-end thing where you need to show your butt a little bit. That's the kind of stuff you do. It's unique, it's different, it is a conversation piece. This is all utility and all work. So I would opt for this for everyday working stuff. But, you know, there's certain things that it has. For instance, it has jog displays. Okay, jog displays. Not that that's that important, but the fact that the Opus doesn't have jog displays besides the one little Rev 5 tick that sits up at the top, which I'm not complaining about. I don't mind the Rev 5 tick. But, you know, when you're paying this much money, it's nice to have that. Now, visually speaking, I still want to say that the Opus Quad, in my opinion, you know, I know if you're talking to Mojax or somebody else, they're going to tell you something different. Excuse me. But my opinion, I think the Opus Quad is beautiful. I really do. But again, utility. Now, there's also, speaking of, on here, you do have your X pad. That's all right here. And of course, let's go to loop roll. So this is probably, in all honesty, I've never been an X-Pad guy, but there are people that love them. I'm not that guy, and that's okay though. All right, what else am I missing here? Let me see if I have any more questions. I've got the old DDJ-1000, trying to wait till the new CDJs and mixer come out. Any word on that? You're going to be waiting for a while, in all honesty. The CDJ-3000s haven't been out that long. And if you look at the track record for the updates, you're probably going to be waiting for a while. Is it confirmed to be 3200? Yes, it is absolutely 3200. It's no secret. And, you know, price wise, again, if you were to take CDJs, you were to buy those separately and buy a mixer, you'd be well beyond $3,200. You know, this is for the person that wants to have all the features. And I want to say this specifically because I think a lot of people, you know, they see the price. I, for one, welcome any device that I can have at my house, say, for instance, or I can take on the road with me. But when I go to a nightclub and they have CDJs and an A9 or a 900, I can still operate those CDJs. And obviously it's a little different because, you know, the pad modes, not the pad modes, but the actual pads themselves on CDJs, they're going to sit more like, they're going to sit more like this guy, where you got your pad modes, you know, right up top there. So on this one, this is definitely more CDJ style setup. But I don't mind it too much. I like the hybrid because this is like the difference between using something like a Rev 7, DDJ 1000, and being able to just move to another controller and have it work the way it's supposed to. So big fan of that. Big fan of that. It's a great device. In all honesty, it is a great device. Let's see here. Does it come with wireless headphones? Jamrock, it does not come with wireless headphones, but the Sonic Link is built in to the box. So if you buy the new Alpha Theta speakers microphone, it's late headphones, then you can just connect them. So you don't have to purchase the more expensive one with the Sonic Link external case here. You can just do it. And again, all wireless, no cords. If they made in-ears with no cords, I would be so happy. So happy, but they don't. So this is the first step. And I'm very happy with these. They sound so good. I mean, my original ones, which ones were these? I think these were the XDJ, what is it? The 1000s. I've had these things forever. They still work. I've since moved on from them, but I keep them in the studio, and these are night and day better than these ever were. So if you are an over the ear person and you like the options, because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about options. You have Bluetooth, you have the Sonic Link, you have the ability to run a cord into them if the battery dies. You have USB-C charging. You have excellent soft feeling cups that go over your ears. And when you're not DJing, you can link this right up to your iPhone or your Android device. And now you got headphones for that too. And they do have noise cancellation. They're great. They're great. If I loved over the ear headphones, I'm going to be using these for the next couple of weeks. Probably starting the week after next. Because I have a wedding and I'm going to be wearing a hat, and that's the only issue with over the ears. So I'm going to be trying those out, and but I love them so far. Love them. I love the fact even if I'm just going to decide to DJ off of Twitch or something like that, or these are a great thing because I can move around and they're not in my way. So I'm a big fan of those. I will do a review on them a little later, maybe in a couple of weeks, and give you my opinion on them. But spoiler alert, they're really good. And the delay is negligible. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right, let's see. Do I think we're going to get a new DDJ-AZ? Gerard, sorry. I think that the 800 is dead. And even if you get something, it won't be a DDJ-AZ. It'll be like, I don't know, the Flex 8 or something like that. But I agree that the DDJ-AZ at the time, I don't think this anymore, but at the time, the 800 was, in my opinion, one of the best controllers on the market. And I was really annoyed that it only worked with Rekordbox. Had it worked with Serato, I would have bought the DDJ-AZ over the SX any day of the week. Any day of the week. I'm not really a 4-channel person. I don't need 4 channels, so it's just more channels just to have. So it just makes a bigger board. But the DDJ-AZ is a fantastic controller. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Sorry, I'm going to make my chat a little bigger here so it's easier to see. Let me just undock this. You're not going to let me undock it, are you? All right. Sorry, boys and girls. It is not letting me undock. All right, we're gonna have to deal with this way. All right, so do the slides and turn knobs feel cheap like the DDJ-1000, or does it feel like a solid mixer? The knobs, I mean, in all honesty, it feels like every 900 and above mixer. They're better than the 1000. Absolutely better than the 1000. The pots are nice. They have nice clicks right in the middle. And then there are center clicks on all the knobs except for the trem here. So all of these are click knobs, which means they stop at the 12 o'clock and then you go past it. And then your trem, which has nothing. Yes, this is going to be much better than the 1000 as far as construction is concerned. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. Don't you notice the latency? That says DJ Lab. No, I mean, no, I don't. I really don't. I have been using the X5s, which have about the same latency as those, and I've been able to go. I mean, you have to keep in mind here, anything that is that negligible latency-wise, it's like 7 milliseconds. Remember, guys and girls, if you were to open up your Serato, okay, and you were going to go in there and adjust the milliseconds on the crossfader, the minimum it can go is like 5. So, and most people aren't rocking 5 milliseconds. They're usually rocking 9 or 10, depending on their processor. So you're already delayed right there. Okay. So your body, your brain will adjust for any type of negligible delay, so you don't feel it anymore. So no, I don't really have an issue with it. Sadly, no stems. Sadly, no stems will stay with the Prime 4. Okay, we can talk about that for a minute. I just talked about the Prime 4. The Prime 4 stems aren't good. So if that is your reasoning for staying with the Prime 4, and you can stay with the Prime 4. The Prime 4 is a great controller, but if stems is your argument, it's flawed because the stems on the Prime 4 are not good. They're not even close to what I would consider to be usable, in all honesty. So I don't use any type of stems that way. I did the same thing with Algorithm DJ, with record box stems. Now they have the new stems, which are so much better. But before, I just wouldn't use the stems because they didn't sound good. So it's you decide what works for you and then go from there. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Prime 4. It is a great controller. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is driving me nuts that I can't get my chat to move out of here. This is very frustrating. Okay, it won't even let me. Fine. DJ's Hoods, thank you so much. Can't believe no dedicated stems button. It's the most important recent innovation. Rev 5 and Flex Stem have them. Rev 5, okay. So Daniel, yes, your point is valid, but it's the wrong device. There are no all-in-ones with functional, and I use the term functional. We got to be clear about that. There are no all-in-ones that have stems that work. None whatsoever. You can say the Prime 4 stems aren't good. So the fact that there are no stems buttons, because this device is not going to have stems. Now, I know you're saying, well, if I'm using Serato, if I'm using Record Box, then where are the stem buttons? And you are correct. But the stem buttons, when you open up Serato, will have the option to set which pad mode you want to replace for stems. And I can tell you right now, most people are probably not using the beat loop, or if you are using the beat jump, you have your beat jump option up here. So most people will replace one of those and then you will have your stems. So problem solved, at least in my opinion. Keith asked, how is the track loading? Hopefully they upgraded the CPU. Good question. Okay, well, we can go here real quick And we'll choose this song right here. Here, we'll keep this song playing so you can hear the difference. And we'll load it. Probably should have had that go to auto load. But if I'm loading, I have no cue points on that one. Let me find one with the cue point. Load. Instantaneous. Yeah, so just so we're clear, you know, every controller all-in-one of the recent, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 iterations have all had much faster processors, and especially for the loading in the songs. So ever since, it wasn't the XZ, it was the 2-channel board. I forget what it's called right now. But anyway, it was faster then. It's fast now. It's fast on the Opus Quad. I'm assuming that they're probably using the same chips for the Opus Quad and this one, and I had no issue with the speed on that one too. Embargo was set for tomorrow morning. You would be wrong, Scott. Okay. I've never experienced an embargo at 9 p.m. or 6 p.m. East. Also, the reason that the embargo was lifted early, so we're all clear and you're not running around telling people Cleveland Terry's messing. There is a conference going on somewhere else, and they are releasing it at the conference at 6 p.m., which allows for Scott, you can say what you want. I speak to Alpha Theta. I think I know what I'm talking about. So it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I was told to that 6 p.m. was the release date. And I've already been online. Digital DJ Tips has theirs up there. Carlo has his up there. Everybody already has theirs up. So clearly they have made some changes. That's all I'm saying. I mean the Groove 6. The Groove 6 came out Tuesday at midnight. So I'm not sure about embargoes or whatnot, but they all came out at the exact same time. So either we were just, all these influencers were just doing a mutiny on Alpha Theta. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. This is just what I was given and told. RX3. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate you on that. All right, let's see here. I cannot get up and see the rest of my comments. This is driving me nuts, but I can't close this out. There we go. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Sign in the chat. Is that what's going on? Okay. All right. That's fine. What we're going to do here is we're just going to open up YouTube on this side. That way I can still see all my chat. All right. Hold for half a second here. Here, enjoy a video real quick. Okay, so Donald says 800 is 2-channel, Groove 6 is 4-channel, not the same layout. So the 800 was never supposed to replace Groove 6. I need to be clear about that. The Groove 6 is replacing the Flex 6. I mean, honestly, if you look at the board, I mean, it besides the top portion right here, this looks just like a Flex X besides the top. So yes and no. It was mainly because I like to complain about the Flex X a lot. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, the 800s are dead. Scott is correct. The 800s are absolutely dead. You're not going to find an 800 replacement. Just like in reality, the SX3, that's the last version you're going to see of the SX. They're done. They're going to move on. They're going to move on. So all of these new controllers are replacing all of these ones. Lehman Lee in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Philip Tan says, I'm liking the dedicated buttons. If I can go back up, I'm liking the dedicated buttons. Glad to see them on something besides the CDJ-3000s. Yeah, I honestly wish that the beat jump buttons were on everything. Everything, because I use the beat jump all the time. So that's fantastic for me. All right, let's see here. Does it have emergency loop? Emergency loop? I mean, are you referring to if there is a loop going, can you load something else in on the loop? That's a good question. Probably not. All gone. So the only option would be is to create the loop on the effects. So I'm sure you guys know how that works. Yeah, let's go back real quick. That's fine. All right. All right. This is going to play indefinitely. No, it's actually fading out. Interesting. So that answers your question. That answers your question. Okay. Oh, well, I'm not going to. Thank you, Philip. All right. Don't you mess up my stuff. Here we go. There you go. So yes, it does place it in the buffer. So there's your answer. I hate pulling out USB. I'm a Mac guy, so that scares the hell out of me. That scares the hell out of me. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Scott says, I like how they separated all the deck loads to their own individual buttons. I agree. As you can see right here. And obviously they still work with instant double. Just double tap it and you're right there. And no, it's good. It's good. So what was the last one? The CDJs, the 3000s. I mean, there's a lot of things that they've pulled in from there to make it this way. I like how they separated full track. I answered that. Let's see. I'm very thankful for the button-based channel select they've gone to. I absolutely always hated the knob. I get what you're saying. And what Scott's talking about is before this used to be one knob like this. And then when you wanted to change from 1 or 2, you'd have to switch it. And that was so super frustrating. So just having a visual, because look, how hard is it if you're standing up and you're looking at this knob and it's on 2 or 3, it's really hard to see, especially in the dark. So they moved to this one, which is so much easier to see exactly what's going on. Yes, agreed. Absolutely agree. Agreed. Okay. Dick. Ricky says, thank you for the super chat. Who sent that in? Professor BX. Thank you, man. Appreciate you for that. Appreciate you. All right, let's see here. Ricky says, are they killing off the Pioneer DJ brand and switching fully to Alpha Theta? And the short answer is no. That's the short answer. The long answer, oh, it's my headphones. I'm like, why am I still hearing sound? See? Wireless. Okay, so that is it is a very, very long answer and a more complicated answer. I mean, the simple fact is there will be Pioneer DJ products. Now, how much will be Alpha Theta versus Pioneer DJ is anybody's guess. Now, originally, and this wasn't too long ago. I would say probably, I don't know, maybe 9 months ago. I would say when the Opus Quad came out, I just figured that the more designer brand stuff would be Alpha Theta. So the Opus Quad, the Omnis Duo, the rotary mixer, all the things that have like specialized, very design friendly or design oriented stuff. I assumed it was going to be that. Now we move forward and we're here with the AZ and it's Alpha Theta. So it's honestly anybody's guess as to what's going to be considered Pioneer DJ and what's going to be Alpha Theta. I don't have an answer for you. I don't even think they have an answer for you. I think it's just whatever feels right when they're making the products, but ultimately Alpha Theta is the top owner. All right. Pioneer DJ is a license. Okay. It's an agreement. So I don't know what the stipulations are, but we'll find out in the long run, I suppose. Okay. All right, let's see here. Finally, my Opus stays home and the AZ is for the road. Yep, exactly. That is 100% how I would do it. Again, I'm a turntable style DJ. So, anytime I use a controller of this kind, there are certain things that I need to have on them. And a good jog wheel is important. A good crossfader is important. Having options, especially as a mobile guy, a mobile DJ, having quick options to things. Like I don't want, if it takes me 2 or 3 buttons to get to where I need to get to, I'm probably not going to use it. In all honesty, I'm like 2 buttons maximum, and then I'm moving on. So, I do love the fact that, say, for instance, like on here, yes, you can hold shift to get to these, but you can also just double tap it. You can double tap it to get to your secondary pad modes here. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to see. That kind of stuff. Now, would it have been great, because we are dealing with people that are going to use this device with their computers. So Serato, Rekordbox, etc. Would it be great if there were dedicated stem buttons? Absolutely. But I believe that what they're thinking is most people are going to use this for the USB aspects, not for computer. Like I would bring in a lot of venues will have like the XZ or some sort of variant of that. And I would normally bring my computer and just plug in and use it that way. And you just kind of deal with it. It is what it is, but it works. It works well. Scott would say, Cleveland, before I go, longtime watcher, just want to say your advice you give each week is the most honest and legit of any YouTuber. Please keep preaching. Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate that, man. Honestly, that means a lot. And we're still having the show tomorrow. The show will happen tomorrow. Today is only the AZ, but we will have the show tomorrow. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Unlock Pioneer DJ branding by buying their special 50th anniversary time code vinyl. Oh, no, it won't be time code vinyl. What it'll be is a special Pioneer DJ USB stick. And when you pop it in, everything looks like old school Pioneer DJ retro look, all of it. And people will use it for like 5 minutes and go, I kind of like the new stuff better. I think I'm going to go back to the new stuff. The new stuff's far easier to use. I mean, honestly, have you opened up or used a CDJ like 2000 compared to a 3000 or 1000 compared to a 2000? Like, it's night and day different. And when you start to use like the 3000s, you don't want to go back. So when can I talk about the Groove 6? Ashley, this is a YouTube thing and I blame YouTube. I already have a video. That video came out 2 days ago. So you can watch that video. It's in my playlist under CT's gear reviews. It's right there. It'll be the first one on there. Well, actually, this one might be the first one, but it is what it is. It's still weird calling Pioneer this new company name. I agree. Once you get used to something, it is what it is. It's like calling a Mercedes like Alpha Theta. But you're gonna have to get used to it at some point. That is the name. And it's hard running a business, and it's hard knowing when you have like contractual obligations, but you do want to move forward, and but you can't because you got contractual obligations. So you're kind of dealing with both and playing both sides. It's tough. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. In all honesty, wouldn't want to be in their shoes. All right. Let's see here. All right. What do we got here? 7:30. Okay. A couple more. I'm not having this one be a long show. I have my show tomorrow. We can talk more about it then. But let me just see if there's any more questions here. DJ Kenny in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. All right. I think DJ Jeff 1 says, can the Sonic Link work with the Wave 8? Well, technically, they're the same device. These are the same boxes that you'll see in the Wave 8. So I don't specifically, they're slightly different because like your input here, like that input is not on the Wave 8. It's just, this would be like power. So I'm actually not sure. I don't have any Wave 8s to test it on. I'm not sure. Good question though. Sonic Link is very, very cool. All right, let's see here. Okay, no stems. I'm playing on this. I answered that question. Okay, did I answer all my questions? Can I leave? Can I go? Well, let's see here. You went from Power Mac to Mac Pro. All right, let's see here. Difference we'll figure out. Actually, okay, unlock CDJ 2000 mode. Your waveforms disappear. Oh, you know what I could imagine? It's kind of like with the new OS for Alpha Theta, the new all-in-one OS. If you go to the Opus and you don't update on your export to the newer software, so it puts in the dedicated, characters and stuff, it's a nightmare to use, like an absolute nightmare. You know what? I wonder if I have one here. I might have a USB. Let me pop one in real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me just find something. Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you for answering the door. You guys available on July 1st? Yeah, we're available. Do you have a brochure I can take a look at? Here you go. This all looks good. Can you send me out a contract? Here's your contract. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. just go ahead and sign it and send it in your deposit. Okay. Are you gonna sign it? If you need to take some time, go ahead. Just send it in when you're ready. All right, thank you. Hey, sorry I took a little while, but I'm finally ready to sign the contract. So if you can just send me. Yeah, we are no longer available for that date. You're not available? Sorry. Well, can you recommend another DJ? All right, let's see if this will work. I just grabbed a random thumb drive here, and I'm just gonna go to source. All right, so on my thumb drive, this is my main thumb drive, which is set properly. As you can see here, all the stuff, the artist, the album track, the playlist, everything's on here. Let me go to the other one. Local library, record box device library plus not found. Okay. And now I have just gobbledygook. I use that old ass term, but look, it just forgot what it was. Just forgot. Let me go back to my other source. The new operating system is better. It's honestly better. But now it's just ugly. Lost all its beauty. It's gone. Anyway, it is what it is. But it still works. In a pinch, you can still use your old ass thumb drives to make it work, but it's not the same. It is absolutely not the same. Okay. Anything else? I hope you consider doing lives in the future for product releases. This was great. Well, I mean, it's different. It's a lot longer than if I were to just shoot the video and then put it out there. But I think sometimes it answers questions that maybe I didn't think about when I was doing the video. I like to think I'm pretty thorough with assuming what questions people are going to ask, but you know, that is the thing. So when people ask questions, it helps me kind of keep moving on. So, but it's a good device. It's a good device. It's a good device. That's all I can say. Let's see here. No, I'm here. Stay. And no plans to do the connection difference. Gotcha. Okay. There you go. So that answers your question. So yes, the answer is no. Technically, it won't work. I mean, it may if you can figure out a way to do it, but it's yeah. Just get yourself a Sonic Link. I mean, you won't be able to take your Sonic Link and then plug it in and then have it work through your headphones anyway. So there are going to be some roadblocks there. Okay. All right. Last question. Last questions. What are the 4 buttons below the deck effects? The 4 buttons below. Are we talking about these guys right here? These 4 buttons? We have channels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have microphone. This is your master. You know, I'm not actually quite sure what CFA and CFB are. I'm not sure what that is, but that's master. That's mic. A and B. You know, I'm not really sure what that is. You know, maybe Professor BX can answer that. Crossfader A and B. Huh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Not quite sure why you would use that over. Anyway, whatever. Yes. So there you go. I guess, you know, we love to be redundant. All right. So crossfader assign A and B. There you go. Okay. Well, there you go. Look, we don't all know everything. I don't know every single device, especially when I haven't been using the device all that long. Okay. Any more questions? Any more questions? I think I've answered all the questions. However, like I said before, it's a good controller. Now, is this controller, is there a reverse fader option? Well, let's take a look. Do-do-do. You don't need to look at me. I don't see post fader effects. Thank you, Professor BX. I don't see a reverse fader option, but I could just be missing it. Yeah, it would have to be software, and I don't see one in here. Yeah. I mean, again, remember, this isn't supposed to be a battle controller. So certain things like reverse, if I can't find them, they're not here. That's just because nobody else needs them, especially if you're in the EDM world. I mean, they barely need a pitch fader. Oh, did I say that out loud? I did, didn't I? I did. Go to the mixer button. Okay. Deck A through AB. Okay, I got all that. Curve, master, deck assign, sonic link. Oh, you can assign any channel to any side in the mixer settings. Gotcha. Okay. All right. All right. There you go. See, that's why we have Professor BX in the house. If anybody would know, it'd be him. All right. So besides, we're getting closer to a rev style layout with all-in-ones and spinning platters. I trust there's demand for it. You know, that is a very good question, Sam. That is a very good question. Interesting. I would say I've been a big fan of an all-in-one with moving platters for the longest time. The question is going to become, who's going to do it? Is it going to be Alpha Theta, or is it going to be In Music? I personally believe that it would sell like crazy if you could do it. If you release it, I think it's going to sell. Now, as Keith just said, it's going to be heavy, and it is going to be heavy. They're going to have to find a way to make, I mean, look, the Rain Performer is heavy. It's really the heaviest that I would want to go. And I never thought when the Rev 7 to me was a heavier board compared to the XDJ-1000 and things like that. But when I picked up the Performer, the Rev 7 seems light as hell now. It's been in my glide bag. I take it when I don't have to use my furniture, and it's so nice now. It feels like a small little DDJ-200. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's what I'm saying. I still believe though that there is a place for a motorized platter. I mean, in reality, if they could make something like this, okay, but you remove the jogs, put in some moving jogs, and make it an installation piece. But I gotta have my finger here. But instead of have it moving, but then we take a little cue off of the Rain 1, and we have the ability to turn off the jog. So we can still manipulate it like a CDJ style, but when we want to do our scratching and all that stuff, we can reactivate it. That's what I would recommend if I wasn't falling down. That's what I would do. And then I think you'd have a head on your hands. Something that can do both. I won't even charge you, Professor BX, if this device comes out 3 years from now. I won't even say it was my idea. I won't even say that. I won't ask for any money. I won't ask for any back end. I would no. Does Rain do a computerized system before? Usually it's Serato compatible. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I will say this. At the current time, Rekordbox is the only device, the only software you can use with it. Serato, even though Serato is literally on the board, Serato is not ready yet. So it's going to be a couple of months before we see Serato on the board. But Rekordbox works out of the box right now. But Serato's coming. Okay. All right. Any more questions, guys? I think we're good. I think I can go. Can I go? Let's see. What is this? I don't think Rain would do an all-in-one setup. I think, it's possible. It's possible. I would say, I believe that Rain is trying to keep the Rain moniker as a battle DJ gear, which is why the Rain 4 never made sense in Rain. It should have been the Denon 4 and then the Rain Performer because of the moving platters. That's what I would have recommended, but to each their own. Everybody's different. All right. Anyway, I think that's it. I think I've answered all your questions. It is heavier than the Opus. I will be back online tomorrow, 10 a.m., our standard regular show. I can talk a little bit about, my corporate events that I had over the weekend. And we'll go from there. Is there an option to show artists on the screen as well as the titles of songs? Yes, there is. If you were to look here, you have all of these categories. So we have artist, and now we have all the artists that are in there. And let's say we click on somebody. That's album. Let me go back up to artist. Let's say we click on somebody that maybe I have more than one song on. Yeah, Bad Bunny. And you can see there's all of these songs under Bad Bunny. Then obviously with the featured, we're going to have, different breakdowns, but it's all there. You can do the same thing for album, for a track, for key. Let's put this in B. Can you do that? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I didn't know you could just sort by key. That's really convenient. F sharp, Gasolina. What's my age again? Yeah, I guess they are. That's funny. It's funny that all the rock songs, a lot of the rock songs are running at F sharp. That's funny. Okay. Anyway. And then playlists. We have all our playlists right here. Everything's there. And then your history of all the stuff you've played. Like this is me today. And then matching. Yeah. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. All right. So I've answered everybody, I think. And if there are any more questions, I don't know specifically if I'm ever going to take this out and do like a working preview. That's just not my thing. Not for something this big. I'd have to have a whole new setup, whole new table. I have to bring in my front board. Like it'd be a lot. So this might be it. But I think for most people, quick mix soon. Maybe next time. Not today. Today I have to go. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out today. I appreciate you. And come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll do our normal Cleveland Terry show. But that's it for this. Do you like it better than the Denon Prime 4? Good question. I like it more than Denon Prime 4 for one reason, because I still think the Denon Prime is in dire need of an update, of a visual update. Software, fantastic. The design of the Prime 4 needs to be updated. That's what I feel. So I'm going to choose this over the Prime 4 just for that reason. But, you know, the Prime 4 has a lot of good features going for it. And so does this one. And, you know, I didn't talk about like the fact that you can also use Link for your lighting and all that stuff. That is still an option there. Just like, you know, with the Prime 4, although, you know, Sound Switch and their setup is a totally different animal. It's so good. It is so, so good. That's honestly, to me, that's the most important part of the Prime series, is having Sound Switch or Denon lighting, engine lighting, sorry, available in every box. So, but it's trade-offs. You have to figure out what's the most important thing to you. You know, is it the functionality? Is it the sound? Is it just the flow? You know, you have to kind of figure out when you prioritize what makes the most sense to you. That's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And when it works for you, it works for you. You know, I think that what we're going to end up seeing is, if you haven't noticed, there has been a little bit of a melding of all of these DJ companies where they're all kind of, it's like iPhone and Android, where everybody's kind of taking a little bit from each other and just making better devices. I think we're going to continue to see that. You know, Rain Performer is a perfect example. Perfect example. You know, so I think we're going to continue to see this stuff happen. So if I have a feeling that whoever comes out with the all-in-one moving platter controller, I have a feeling that the other company will follow suit. So we just need to get to it. We just need to get to it. All right. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much. I don't have a case for it. I don't even know what case. Probably you could use the same case that you had for your XZ, is my guess. But who knows? Because it is a big device. Anyway, guys, girls, always a pleasure. When will it be available to purchase? I think it's available now or the next couple of days. Pioneer Alpha Theta does not do releases where they don't typically have units available, in all honesty. So I'm just looking here to see if there's anything. Let's see here. XDJ-AZ. When you spell it right. All right. All I did was type in XDJ and AZ. And there's all the videos. There's the Reddit link. I'm not seeing it on there yet. Let's go to Sweetwater. So I don't know. Maybe if Professor BX can mention release date, because I never actually got any info. Let's see. I'm just searching in Sweetwater right now. Oh no, there it is. Right here. There you go. And let's see. Hot item on its way. Estimated. You can reserve now. Estimated shipping November 2024. There you go. $31.99. So we'll see. We'll see. But it is up and it is available everywhere as far as notifications and buying power. Little as CNC says, tomorrow's the official day. Yeah, I don't even know anymore. Everything has been changing. It's all been very, very fluid this release this release week. Like, okay, I'm just gonna give you some influencer stuff right now. So, like, for instance, they released the headphones. Okay, released the headphones, which work specifically with the AZ. Headphones released. What? Oh, 3, 4, or 5 days ago? Headphones released. Then, when you would normally think you would release the AZ, your next release should be the one that works with the headphones. But instead, they release the Groove 6 first. So I am not going to even attempt to understand why this was how it was this time. I'm not even going to attempt, but it is what it is. Enjoy it. You get more of me in 1 week, I guess. All right. Original blackout date was October 10th. Yeah, it is what it is. We just roll with it. You know, I mean, as long as I don't release it early and I'm the one that gets everybody in trouble, specifically I'm the one that gets myself in trouble, I'm fine. So I asked 4 times. Are we sure it's coming out at 6? Are we sure the Groove 6 is coming out at midnight? Are we sure? Like I made sure. Even before I even set this up, I checked one more time. Before I started the show today, I went online to see if they had released their videos. Before I even started the show. Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't the person. Anyway. It is what it is, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully I'm not too tired from all this work right here. My throat is still okay. And we'll go from there. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you leave a like before you leave and share the video. I know this is different than normal, but share the video to everybody that's looking at this as an option. And we'll go from there. All right, y'all. Peace out.